So I've got a special bike to show off today. What we're looking at here is a Western Flyer road bike. It's a 10-speed, as you can tell, because it says so right there. So I just picked this up for free. A friend of mine who I've known forever, his parents are moving, and this was in the garage, and his dad wanted to get rid of it, so I ended up with it. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen yet with this bike. The friend of mine whose dad I got this from, he might actually want me to restore this for him, and then he might want the bike himself, but we're going to figure all that out. But a quick overlook. I have not run the serial number yet, so I don't know what year this bike was built, but if I had to guess, I would say probably sometime in the mid to late 1960s. It looks like this is actually in fairly good shape. It very clearly needs a good cleaning. Looks like we have a little bit of rust, but that's not a huge deal. We can get rid of that rust. These tires are actually not that old, but it's been sitting for a while, so we got to replace the tires. Since the tires need to be replaced, I'm going to assume that we got to replace the tubes and the rim strips as well, because that's just, I kind of consider that standard procedure for any time you find an old bike like this. So let's see. Tires, tubes, rim strips. We got to take a cable cutter and cut off this lock. I wonder what kind of condition this seat's in. I'm not sure. Seat actually... I'm surprised. I figured the seat would not look that good, but... Troxel, Tennessee. SCOW, okay. Well, that's cool. Brooks saddle would look pretty sweet on this. So tires, tubes, rim strips, bar tape definitely needs to be changed. Give the bike a good cleaning, cut off this lock. I did notice the cable housing was cracked right there, so we're gonna have to replace that cable housing. Want to check all the cable housings to make sure that they're all in good condition and not cracked like that one is. Yeah, but I think that's the only one that's actually damaged. The cable housings themselves are probably kind of brittle, so we may want to completely replace them all. Notice how, this frame does not have the little pieces for the, what do you call them, where the cable runs through, like the cable guides or whatever. This bike doesn't have that, because back then people would often either use tape, like they did on this bike, or zip ties. So I will definitely be doing away with the tape, and we'll be doing zip ties, because I think that just looks a lot better. The brake pads are actually not that old, and they don't have a lot of use. They don't have a lot of wear, so they should be good. It's mostly... Yeah, there's no play in that bottom bracket, so that's pretty good. Don't need to worry about that. So, probably want to tune up the bike. This front derailleur here, it says GTO on the top. I don't know if you can see that. And then Thunderbird, which I've never heard of that. And then over here, Shimano Eagle on the rear derailleur. So that's another one I haven't heard of, but I'll be doing a little bit of research. These brakes are center pole brakes, or cantilever brakes. But they look like they're in pretty good shape. So, yeah, it doesn't look like there's a ton of work that needs to be done with this bike. Mostly pretty much basic maintenance. I know that my friend's dad took pretty good care of this bike. So, I already got that idea based on the fact that he told me this is the third different set of wheels that he's put on this thing. So, I mean, you know, if somebody has changed out their wheels more than once, then you know they've taken care of their bike. So, all right. The restoration on this is not going to start for a little while at least, because I need to figure out exactly what we're doing with this bike, you know, who is going to end up with it. But other than that, I just wanted to show it off. So the restoration will start after a while. I mean, it's not going to be, I mean, when I picked up that Murray and restored that, I mean, I did the bike overview video, and then like later on that same week I had already gone to work on it. That's not going to be the case here. Like, I'm thinking probably sometime in the spring we'll be looking over this bike and getting to work on it. So for now it's just kind of figuring out you know, how much we're going to spend on it, which fortunately all this stuff that we need to do is not really going to cost a lot. The most expensive thing would be if we wanted to put a Brooks saddle on there, which I think would look pretty sweet, putting the Brooks on there. Oh, so one other thing, you know, this is a Western Flyer bike, which means this bike was actually made by Western Auto, so it was probably made in Kansas City. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time.